This is Your Other Brothers Podcast.
Sorta. What's up, homies? Thank you for coming to the ConvoCast. We are back once again. This is an extension of Your Other Brothers, and we're a community navigating faith, homosexuality, masculinity, and coronavirus together. I'm your host, Tom. Thank you so much for being here. This has been such a joy. Honestly, again, I've stated this multiple times. If nobody listened, if no one in the world cared about the ConvoCast, I would still do it. I would still have quite a great time doing it because I get to talk to so many amazing people one-on-one in our community and adjacent to our community. So today, I'm sure will fall right in line with all the others. It's taken him a while to get here, but he finally found his way into the ConvoCast arena, and it's our other brother, Jacob. What's up, Jacob?
Hello. I am excited and pumped to be a part of my first ever ConvoCast 2020.
With no distractions, no one else in the room.
Nothing's happening because we're all at home hiding.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, your brother Nate has been here twice already, so he warmed up the Baranowski seat for you.
Excellent.
Well, Jacob, I know we've talked off camera, off microphone a couple times since the virus struck, but what's the update for you? How are you doing about a month or so into this whole ordeal? Because last time we heard you was on the last YOB-cast we did, where we talked about fear.
Yeah. I don't think not too much has actually changed since then, which I feel like is probably true for 95% of humanity. But I think it's actually I have found that personally things have been fairly easy for me. I'm able to keep working from home. I'm kind of a homebody anyway, so spending a lot of time here doesn't really bother me, or I haven't felt super antsy or I have to get out and go do things. So I would say that the hardest part is just not being able to see people and spend time with a lot of friends. But overall, I would say I'm usually doing well, flourishing.
All right. Yeah, I hear from a lot of fellow homebodies who say similar things oh, my life is just
not
not
a
a
big
lot
deal.
different. And I will say it's a little bit of a blend for me because you know me, I love to wander and travel and get about. So on the one hand, I feel incredibly restrained and restricted right now. But also the other true thing about me right now is I'm living in my favorite place that I've ever lived. The dwelling that I call my home. It's my favorite place I've ever lived. And so there is definitely a heightened appreciation for the fact that I have this incredible, secure, beautiful home.
That's huge.
Which a year ago would have been incredibly difficult. I'm so grateful this pandemic is hitting us now, because if it had hit me a year ago and I was living in the middle of the woods with no Wi-Fi, I feel as if I would wither away and just die. And someone would have to just check on me a month later. The fact that there would be no podcasts or blogs uploaded to the website would trigger somebody to come knock on my door and see what happens.
That's really sad.
Sorry to take that to a really dark place.
No, it's I've come to expect it. So no worries.
In the back of your head, you're like, oh gosh,
it would be weird if
there.
You didn't end this by saying, oh, and then I'm gonna die. So
yeah, no, but I've been counting my blessings living here for sure. Yeah, what have you been up to? I know. So when Ryan and I talked, that we had to talk about CrossFit. That was a given. Which I know you love. And then, but I know you mentioned to me recently that you had your own little special workout digitally.
Yes,
I'd love to hear more about that, as well as because Ryan and I also talked about time in the kitchen, and I know you're super inclined toward kitchen life. So I'd also love to hear anything kitchen related happening during this pandemic.
For sure. Yeah. So for the past 3 weekends have been able to do a Zoom Baranowski Fitness jamboree, as we like to call it, which has included my parents and my brother and sister-in-law and current roommate, friend of the show, Taylor, who's been staying with me during quarantine time. And it's been fun because we've been we've been doing it to where each of us kind of take a turn to lead like 15 minutes of it, and so that's kind of nice to sort of mix things up. And Nate, he finds really like weird and interesting things to bring to the table. So last time we did, he looked up like some fighting moves that they use to train some branch of the military in a different country that we
Whoa.
then did. So we did like a lot of punches to the neck and to the groin as we were doing stuff. So that was interesting.
So your mom, now no one can mess with your mom, is what you're saying.
Correct.
Right? She knows.
Correct.
She
I
knows
mean,
some
I don't think anyone is gonna mess with her in general because she's in excellent shape. But yes, she is now
she knows how to
even
take out a
more
fool.
deadly than yes. So all of us are ready for if this whole quarantine thing turns into the purge, we will be ready to defend our homes and our lands.
Yeah.
So that's a good thing. Yeah, and then I would say that when it comes to cooking, that has been one of the most enjoyable things about this whole being stuck at home nonsense is that I, as you know, I love to cook, and one of the benefits of working from home is that I'm able to cook things that like take a really long time, to where if I was going to be making something for dinner that takes 3 hours, I wouldn't do that on a typical weeknight, because then I wouldn't be eating till like midnight. And so it's been great to just make things that I wouldn't normally get to try. And I happen to it's going to be a slight humble brag, but because you asked me in preparation about some of the things that I've been making, I actually made a list of everything that I've cooked.
Wow.
Which has included bread, chicken and turkey stock, marinated asparagus, macaroni and cheese with broccoli, goulash, citrus, braised pork tacos, broccoli and feta frittata, shrimp scampi, blackberry pie, cast iron seared ribeye with pan sauce, roasted whole chickens with warm bread salad, mashed potato casserole, cast iron Southwest chicken and biscuits, pan roasted Brussels sprouts, German pancake, braised pork spare ribs, thick cut up in fries, tinga de pollo, beef stir fry with bell peppers and pepper sauce, slow cooker fig, balsamic glazed chicken drumsticks, and shrimp bisque. Bam.
Oh my gosh. And Ryan and I now
I've been
take
busy.
a walk of shame. Wow, that is impressive. You have like your own little diner there.
I try, yeah.
You could get on
try.
Grubhub. We know we have a good relationship with
Ooh,
Grubhub.
I know. You're right.
People could come to your
I
apartment.
could start my own Grubhub business.
That is amazing.
I
Wow.
like it. So I have in recent months, I don't know if you have heard of the company America's Test Kitchen, if that rings bells.
No, what is that?
For you? They do a TV show where they cook, but they also review kitchen equipment and ingredients, and they just like they approach cooking in a super like sciencey kind of way, and that engineering part of me gets real excited with just like knowing that every recipe that they put out, they like test and test and test and do hundreds of times, and like adjust and like change little things to find what they consider to be the like perfect and ideal way to cook something. So I've been making like everything that I listed. I think except for one, those were all recipes that I got from them. I'm a bit obsessed. It also means that I have purchased more kitchen equipment in the past few months than I think I've ever bought in my life.
Yeah, I
And
know.
as you know from
I saw the other day that you had gotten, what was it, a mashed potato peeler grater?
No, please.
What's it called?
I got a potato ricer, and I got a lot of flack from y'all when I pulled it out. But it is honestly, if you want mashed potatoes with the creamiest and smoothest consistency that you will ever have, get yourself a potato ricer. Now I know you, Tom, as a 4, you like your taters
Here
to
we go.
have like bits of just junk in it, and
Skin, chunks.
skin and chunkies, a little dirt, a little envy, a little greed,
Spice
just
it up
like
a
a
little
little,
bit. Yeah,
yeah, a little something
add
something.
some
So
texture.
I know that you will not be purchasing a potato ricer, but I just want to tell the whole audience that it is worth it. So
Yeah, I mean, it's classic crunchy versus creamy. Like, what do you prefer in a peanut
do
butter?
you prefer your mashed potatoes to be crunchy? That
I
means you
prefer
didn't
them to
cook your
be
taters correctly.
I prefer them to be lumpy, and I'm sure there are people listening who
Lumpy,
would
chunky.
agree. But I mean, it's not to say creamy is disgusting. I'm just saying,
No,
given a
I get it. I
choice,
get it. I get
I
it.
want some texture to it. But
There are, I'm sure that there are other freaks who are also listening to this who would agree, and I'm more than happy to start some kind of poll or vote
yeah,
or argument to rise up
I would
against
love to
your nonsense.
hear
So,
how the viewers or how the listeners
mhm.
respond. Yeah, do you prefer your mashed potatoes like soup, or do you prefer it
Wait, no.
no,
No
not
one
soup.
wants
I know I'm
soupy.
exaggerating, but smooth
No.
versus crunchy. Because yeah, I just it's such a trigger for me back to growing up as a crunchy peanut butter kid when the entire rest of my family was a
Mm,
smooth, creamy peanut butter kid. Because I just had to go along with it, and
yeah.
I did it. I begrudgingly ate the smooth peanut butter,
Mm,
but it always felt lacking. Like this could
yeah.
be so
Yep.
much more. But
It's
now
because
every
you
time I
are
go,
a
I get my crunchy peanut butter because I'm an
good.
adult. I can do that.
Because you are a unique and special snowflake, and you want your crunchy peanut butter,
There's always
even though
more
no one else does.
people. It's like really great because especially during times where people are like panic buying groceries.
You're right.
There was one time I went to the store and all of the creamy peanut butter was gone, but what was there still? The crunchy peanut butter. And so
Crunchy garbage.
I got
Nice.
some and I
Good work.
loaded up for a week or two. Yeah. So
Good work. Good work. Speaking of food, I would also be curious to hear a bit more about like things that you've been making, or any like new things that you've been trying. But I've also been hearing a lot recently that during this time people are not eating as healthy as they like usually would, which I like, perhaps I just haven't thought about it enough, and maybe you can shed some light. But I'm not quite sure how the whole like staying at home thing equates to eating poorly or eating
yeah.
not as
I mean
well,
it
because I
depends
guess,
what you buy. Yeah.
sure, right. And I guess my thought is that like, because some people probably have a lot more time on their hands, I would think that would actually like inspire people to take the time to like make good food for them. But perhaps I'm not thinking this
Yeah,
through. So
I mean,
please educate
if
me.
you are a healthy person and you realize you have all this extra time on your hands and various eating establishments are no longer open
Right?
or like not accepting people to dine in, then theoretically, yes, you would make more meals. And I know speaking for myself, I'm absolutely eating more healthy
Hmm.
since this happened because there have been so many times where I'm out and about working on a coffee shop at a coffee shop or doing something outside of the house. And so it's just way more convenient to stop by and get some fast food on the way to
Yeah.
this place or on the way back home because I don't want to then exert another 45 minutes to an hour and a half of energy into creating a meal. But now that distraction's removed, I've only had fast food like 2 or 3 times in the entire month, which is insanely low for me.
Hmm.
And yeah, I'm definitely taking more initiative. I'm taking more initiative to gather like supplies that will last me a while. So like having a big bag of rice and having a big bag of
Hmm.
pasta and having all these cans of beans and just having like options for things that I could make, having like extra chicken breasts or whatever. And so actually something I made because on the podcast with Ryan, I talked about making these roasted potatoes and carrots, which were incredible.
Hmm.
Um, and so something that is an update from that podcast, I celebrated my birthday last week and I instructed my family. This is great because I haven't told this story yet. So I'm glad you've prompted this out of me.
I'm
So my
excited.
entire family, my parents, brother, sister, brother-in-law, niece, they were all supposed to come to Asheville to celebrate with me. I had mentioned this to them like 2 months ago.
Hmm.
And then because of virus, like that just got scrapped. And so what I told them instead was, what I want is for all of us to eat dinner on Zoom together as if we were going to a fancy restaurant. And so I want you to cook something with a little more intentionality than you normally
Mm.
would. And I want you to dress up for the occasion. So don't be coming in your PJs or shirtless or what have you. Um, and so it was really fun because, yeah, I poured some wine.
Mm.
I had some roasted broccoli. And then the big thing that I tried was sesame seed coated tuna steaks, which I
Ooh.
grilled on my stove. And it was pretty good. It was, yeah, again, I'm appreciative of texture. And so the fact that it was crunchy, but then the tuna like melted in your mouth and
Yeah.
it was very aesthetically pleasing. I felt accomplished. Like I would have never made this pre-pandemic, or if I did, it would be like a once a year or once every 6 months thing that I would probably exert enough energy to do. So
Sure.
I enjoyed that. That was my birthday dinner that I made myself, and it was
Oh.
fun. It was fun to like gather around the computer and eat with the headphones in and just like,
Yeah.
yeah, have this time with my family. So that's
Oh.
the fanciest thing I made lately.
I love that. That's an excellent idea. Did what what kind of things did other folks make? Anything like
My brother, he made bison burgers. So
whoa,
he not just regular
fancy?
hamburgers, but
No,
bison
no.
burgers. There's more to it. And I think like tater tots or something.
Well,
That's
okay.
his
Well,
fancy. But yeah, for my
each
brother though,
other.
that's pretty good.
Okay.
Um, and then my parents, I think, made like grilled chicken and rice or something like that. Um, my sister was very blunt. She was like, I didn't know this was going to be a fancy meal, so I just made street tacos for the entire family.
Mm,
So it was like tortillas flying around everywhere. But
nice.
it was great. It was really great because my niece is 2 years old, and I told her to bring one of her stuffed animals to the table to be a special guest. And she has like, I don't know, 17 or 18 stuffed animals.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I got her one for her birthday or Christmas, I forget. Um, might have been Christmas. But when she came the first time she came to visit me, I kept telling her that there are all these wild turkeys that go in my front yard. They just roam the streets here where I live here in
Mm-hmm.
Asheville. And she's a huge animal lover. She loves all animals. And so she was getting really excited about seeing the turkey. That's all she would talk about in the weeks leading up to coming to visit me because they cross my yard literally. I mean, they cross it every day. Whether I see it every day is another thing, but more often than not, I see these wild turkeys just traveling in packs across the neighborhood.
Mm.
Is really cool. And so I told her about the turkey, and then literally the whole weekend she was here, we just like looked out my big front window looking for the turkeys, and they didn't show
Mm.
up. Of course, they did not show up.
No.
And so I got her a turkey stuffed animal for Christmas. And so then when she came on the Zoom call with her mommy and daddy, she had the little turkey doll at the table. And so I
Oh,
felt honored that Turkey I
that's so
asked her what her name
cute.
was, and she said Turkey.
Turkey.
So Turkey the turkey came
Excellent.
to my
That's an excellent
birthday
name.
dinner, and I felt super, super loved in that
Mm.
moment. So
Mm. Two questions. Question one: what kind of laws are there in Asheville in terms of like hunting these wild turkeys? Like, if you just like were in the mood to like roast one, could you just like capture one? Because I don't
I
think
don't
you own a gun,
know.
so you'd probably have to just use your
I
hands.
mean, I can't imagine that would be smiled upon if I was like,
That's kind
whether
of
it
what
was my
I
yard or certainly down the street in someone else's yard, if I just like came up with a pistol and
hunting
just
on their
like
heels or
shot
it's
shot it
start
in the gobble
shooting.
gobble. But I I don't
Yes.
know because they're like legit turkeys. They splay their feathers
Yeah.
back and they're
Yeah.
gobbling all over the place. Like they're not just like
They're
little
gobbling the
they're not just
place.
like little birds. They're
Yeah.
massive beasts. So I don't know.
Yeah. Hmm.
That
Hmm.
is a good question. I've never considered that because
I will do some research
do some
for you
research
about
from my town how the turkey laws are handled.
yes,
Yeah.
turkey season, and then I will get you a turkey call as a gift, and then I want to see
Oh my
videos of
gosh.
you out hunting turkey with your call.
I would love, especially thank you.
That
Especially
was a turkey call.
when my niece comes to visit, I think she would have a blast with a turkey call to get the turkeys to
Yeah.
come visit. I think that would be
Yes.
phenomenal.
That'd be sweet.
Because I have two reactions. The first reaction is I'm an American, therefore I should be able to
You can
kill
do
the turkey if
whatever you
I
want.
want to,
Mm-hmm.
right? But
Mm.
then I had the second reaction. I was like, no, they're so quaint and fun and weird. Like nobody's allowed to touch them. They're like an endangered species, basically.
Yeah.
So I had
Yeah.
those two
And so
reactions.
sure. No, that's fair. I mean, I'm not a hunter. I've never actually shot and killed anything to eat it. But when it comes to like animals that I wouldn't really flinch at killing, turkeys and chickens, like that's just easy. Like they're just evil creatures, and I have no problem murdering some to eat.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had a friend once describe to me the process of killing turkeys and chicken.
Mm,
Theoretically, I'm with you in the sense that yes, I eat them all the time, so I should have no problem killing them if worst came to worst and I
yeah.
absolutely had to. But the way he described it, and I guess there's more than one way to skin a cat, right? So I'm sure you can
Mm,
kill these things lots of ways, but the way he
indeed.
was describing it was like you nail it to a tree upside down and slit its throat, and then you like pluck all the feathers off and blood
Let it drain.
spurts
Yeah.
everywhere. And I'm just like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Like in my head, I would probably pass out if I had to do that myself.
Mm,
Even though I have no problem eating these things, of course.
yeah. 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 You can also do the put the head on like a chopping block or tree trunk and then use an axe. I have seen that.
Except you
Or
better swing really hard because if you
yeah.
miss or if you
Yep.
don't go hard enough, that's
It's rough.
horrific.
It's rough. I think that one of the more interesting and kind of grotesque ways. So for listeners who are a little squeamish, just fast forward half a minute. Is you actually take the chicken by the neck and you just swing it around super hard and kind of like give some really quick like whacks, and then you just break its neck. Ta-da! Okay.
Ta-da!
And we're back. Wow, I did not know how much I was talking about murdering chickens. I am so sorry. This is supposed to be
This
a
is
nice
the beauty
conversation
of the
of life
ConvoCast is that it goes literally you can't predict. Could we have predicted at the start of these 20 minutes that we would talk about murdering chickens and turkeys by the
No.
end? Isn't it
Nope.
fun how the winding road leads us there?
Yes.
That's it, yeah.
Question number 2, going back a bit. I'm curious. So your niece being 2, how much do you think that she understands what's happening now? Like, is she like just has anything changed in like her life to where she would feel, hey, like something's different, or is she just kind
Yeah.
of
I asked my sister this the other day actually, and she responded she thinks it's great because it just means that dada gets to stay home all the time because he's working from
oh
home and
yeah,
gets to see him way more often than previously. So it's funny to like see this through the eyes of a child. Like there's a
hmm
perspective out there where a daughter just gets to see her dad more, and
yeah,
what a
yeah,
beautiful few weeks or few months that is for her in whatever
yeah.
capacity she can remember that in the future, because she's only 2, but
Sure.
like still like the fact that she gets to have that extra time. So it's a great perspective to know that this is actually better for some people than
Mm,
previously.
sure.
Weird.
Yeah.
It's a weird thought to
Yeah.
think that
Yeah.
this is a step up in some ways for some people. But for my 2-year-old niece,
It's
it
true.
certainly is.
Mm. Yeah. 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 I was just pondering that recently of how I wonder that like younger kids as they live through this season, that when they get older and they look back on it and like talk about it, what are they going to say of like, what did you think was happening? Like, how did you feel? Like, I just think that'll be interesting because like world events like these do change people in ways that they don't even realize. So I just think it'll
Yeah.
be interesting to like see how that will affect, if like will it be now that like every time that we're out shopping and we see they have toilet paper that we're gonna buy some even if we don't need it, just because
Yeah.
like, oh, like yes, they have it, I must get it, I don't know why I must get it, but I feel this urge to
Yeah.
purchase this.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely curious to see the perspectives we all have on the other side of this thing. We have to go, Jacob, but
Oh,
I'm glad you mentioned toilet paper because this has been something that I've needed to vent and get out for a while now.
please
Is
do.
when this whole pandemic started, everyone started panic buying the toilet paper, and I just
Mhm.
looked back and laughed and smiled because I had gotten toilet paper like a month prior, like one of those big 24 counts like packages. So I was like,
Mm.
I'm fine. I'll be okay. And then lo and behold, a month later, here we are, and I'm down to my final 3 rolls, and I'm starting to look at the counters a little more closely every time I go out, and they're always empty. And I'm just like, well, I'm gonna trust manna from heaven or toilet paper from Trader Joe's or whatever, and just see. Or not Trader Joe's, like the local grocery store here or Walmart or what have you.
Yeah.
Just like, well, hopefully it's there that when I need it. Otherwise, we're about to break into some new territory. So
yeah,
we'll see.
that'll be that's gonna be interesting when that happens. Yeah, I look forward to hearing your reports of
By the end of this, by the end of the run of this Corona ConvoCast, hopefully I will have found more toilet paper because we're reaching that make or break moment here in the weeks to come. So we're gonna see. We're gonna see what happens. But in the meantime, if y'all are interested in learning about anything about Your Other Brothers, which has nothing to do with anything that Jacob and I talked about today, you can go to yourotherbrothers.com and you can follow us on all the socials at Your Other Bros. And we'll be back really soon for another ConvoCast as we keep this little train of a podcast running. Through these uncertain times, we are here to bring some amount of certainty to your days. So, Jacob, thanks for coming on and filling the Baranowski seat. I appreciate it.
My pleasure.
And remember, y'all, you are not alone. Even the sparrow stays at home. Stay home, y'all, but stay connected. And we'll be talking to y'all soon. Y'all have a great rest of your day. See you later.
Bye.